That was a disgusting performance from Manchester United. That is as humiliating a 1-0 as you are ever going to see. The attitude from, well, bar maybe Maguire, Shaw, Bruno in parts. Who else? There was someone else. But the attitude of those players there was, oh my God. Erik Ten Hag made some mistakes in that game, all right? And I'm going to speak about those because I don't think, right? Our record away from home against the big clubs, oh my God. Our record this season against the big clubs, oh my God. Ten Hag made some mistakes. I'm going to be speaking about them. That sign was held up before Fulham, right? Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial, Scott McTominay, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. You could just list through the players there tonight that just did not give a toss. How about putting in a shift? And it's boring to talk like this. And when you look at don't come at me about game time or injuries. This is a Newcastle team that played PSG in midweek, 97th minute equaliser they conceded. They had 11 players on. They didn't make one sub in that game. Their team is obliterated by injuries now, just like ours has been all season. But they were first to every single duel, every single free ball. Newcastle were just there. United were just not there. Marcus Rashford's lack of application in that game gave Livramento and Gordon the freedom to do whatever they wanted to do. Aaron Wan-Bissaka having an absolute woeful performance at right back, a bit like he was against Galatasaray. They just had fun. The goal was always going to come from that side. Martial. I do not care how many dink finishes or how many moments in games we think, maybe he is. No. Martial should not still be at our football club. And the attitude that I saw from the players there, it's straight up unprofessional. And you know what makes it even more annoying? It gets towards like the 85th minute mark and you go, oh, actually, yeah, go on then. Yeah, we'll start playing a bit of football. Where were you for the first 85 minutes? And when you look at the polar opposite of that in what Newcastle have always done under Eddie Howe, that consistency of the work rate. And it's not as if these players can't do it. We've seen it this season. We saw it midweek against Galatasaray. You telling me that's a tactical decision? Because I do not think it is. But then I look at Erik Ten Hag and I know, of course, he made mistakes there. Starting Marcus Rashford and starting Anthony Martial. And it's not really a captain hindsight thing to say. Rashford's form has been all season long. Martial, when he starts games, especially against a team like Newcastle, who you know their work rate is going to be through the roof. I'm guessing Højlund wasn't fit to play the full 90. I have no idea. But it was a complete catastrophe. Man United out of possession were an abomination today. And I don't know how many times I have to keep saying it. And this is on Erik Ten Hag. When are we going to stop playing McTominay and Bruno in the same midfield together? We are never going to have any control. Ever, 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 ever. All right? Ten Hag surely knows that. But he's still going with that setup. Kobbie Mainoo couldn't really do much. There was one bit in the first half for about maybe 2 minutes where we had a little bit of build-up play because it was Mainoo staying close with Bruno. So they could actually, a little bit of passing triangles, movement. Nice. That was it. That was it. Feeding off complete scraps. I can't believe the lack of application for Marcus Rashford in that game. And again, when I'm talking about mistakes that Ten Hag made, look, he played Marcus Rashford on the right wing, where he has, over his career at United, put in his worst performances, but he played there when Højlund was playing through the middle, because therefore he's got to run down the byline and whip across him for Højlund. That's the purpose of Marcus Rashford on the right-hand side. With Martial in the middle, what's the point of Marcus Rashford on the right-hand side? Tactically, Ten Hag got plenty wrong tonight. But I just think it's completely and utterly unforgivable to see a team like Newcastle, who just played with 11 men and no subs against PSG in midweek, and they can play like that until the final whistle, but we just can't be asked. There is a reason why that sign was put up before Fulham. And I'm telling you, like, Ten Hag deserves plenty of criticism after that game, but I just can't look past that utter lack of application. It's completely unprofessional. There's no other way to describe it. And man, we are crap against the bigger teams. I think we've got majority of our points this season against lower league teams. We have been grinding out results in games where, well, we've just been a grind. Watching United is a chore. It's like an unpaid job. That's what it is to watch United. I feel sorry for the fucking United fans who travel to Newcastle 8 p.m. on a Saturday, -3, 400 metres in the air, and that's the effort that the players put in. Every football fan can understand a loss, right? It's sport. There's a winner, there's a loser, sometimes there's a draw. But you just can't forgive a team that just doesn't give a shit. It's literally your job to give a shit. And this, like, Kobbie Mainoo there today, I felt, I don't know how you felt watching it, right? But Onana, it was like the lion's den for him every time he touched the ball. Unfortunately for him, he's created these circumstances, and other fans of other clubs are going to try and take advantage of it. Just like I would expect United fans to take advantage of it if it was a goalkeeper of another club. We would do the same. It's part of sport. Boy, man, it makes me as a fan want to support him more, because he's not going to get that support from anywhere else now. And look at that today. Like, I know Maguire, right? Maguire probably was Man United's man of the match. I'll speak about him in a bit. Maguire was our man of the match, probably. Oh, who am I kidding? The man of the match. Fuck, Maguire was our best player alongside Luke Shaw as centre-back. But we can't play out from the back through that right-hand side. We can't play out from the back at all. It was like Onana, Shaw, Delo, back to Shaw, kick it long. Who are you going to kick it long to? Garnacho? No, he's not going to win the ball. Rashford? No, he's not going to win the ball. Martial? No, he's not going to win the ball. Rinse, repeat. Rinse, repeat. Let's try. No, we can't play it through the middle because they were man. It was kind of like we were man marking them out when we had no possession, and they just kept skipping through us. And look, Kobbie Mainoo couldn't really do much. And Amrabat came off on for what? The last God knows how long. And he looked awful. He did. Hands in the air. I'm not saying that he's the answer here, but play them together. Please, Erik. Stop playing Scott McTominay in central midfield from the start. And that's on Erik Ten Hag. I mean, that performance stunk out the place. It really, really did. There's only a few players that can come out from that and said, you know what? Well, I put a shift in tonight. I think Ten Hag made some serious mistakes with that starting 11. Martial and Rashford should not have started it. Maybe Rashford could have started, but Højlund should have started that game. 1,000,000%. Livramento was their man of the match, and they just dominated us down that side. Wan-Bissaka and Rashford, non-existent. It was like playing with 9 men. And I know there's going to be people that are gunning for Ten Hag, and that's what I mean. I would criticise his tactical approach out of possession with United today, our shape. We're still trying to build out from the back with the ball, but we just cannot do it. Newcastle always had a man in space, permanently. When they had possession, they permanently had someone else to pass and move to. Because we were crap at marking the space, and they were better with their movements. I think he made mistakes in that starting 11, but oh my God, man. That stunk. That properly reeked. And in a week which was supposed to be an acid test for United, we had... It wasn't a complete performance against Everton, but it was the most impressive overall performance this season in the Premier League. And then we threw it all away again against Galatasaray. And there, we were... Well, you may as well have stayed in bed. Because that's exactly how those players played. How many times are we going to have to see a sign like that? I know that you can criticise mistakes that Ten Hag made, and he did make plenty, but the attitude, for me, is just straight up unforgivable to see that. It's this...